Now okay, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So, today we will be talking about the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. This topic I had taken in our 1st and 2nd February spiritual retreat in Singapore. So, this is a picture which is, individual pictures are original, but this group photo is a artist's work. The artist has put all the disciples together, and then I put Guru Thakur and Mother's picture on the top. So this is very beautiful picture. This remains as a what do you call it? On my desktop, this is the picture. So Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, and 16 monastic disciples we are considering. If you say direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, there were many direct disciples. Many household disciples also should be called direct disciples. So here we are talking about the direct monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. In that also, for example, what you call Durgapuri Devi, Durgama, she was a nun. So here we are talking about the 16 monastic male disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. So here, these first 2 shlokas, you know. So what I will do is, you repeat, but you don't need to switch on the microphone. You repeat by yourself is enough for me. So the last 2 shlokas are the names of all the disciples. That's what I had suggested last time. So we repeat these shlokas and then we start our talk. Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya. Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya. Sarvadharmasvarupine. Sarvadharmasvarupine. Avatara varisthaya. Avatara varisthaya. Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Jananim Saradam Devim. Jananim Saradam Devim. Ramakrishnam Jagatgurum. Ramakrishnam Jagatgurum. Padapadme tayo shritva. Padapadme tayo shritva. Pranamami muhurmuhu. Pranamami muhurmuhu. Brahmanandam Shivanandam. Brahmanandam Shivanandam. Premanandam Niranjanam. Premanandam Niranjanam. Yoganandam Adbhutam. Yoganandam Adbhutam. Akhandanandam Advaitam. Akhandanandam Advaitam. Vijnanam Triguణatītam. Vijnanam Triguణatītam. Turiyananda Vedam. Turiyanandam Abhedam. Subodham Saradanandam. Subodham Saradanandam. Viveka Shashi Bhushanam. Viveka Shashi Bhushanam. So, information as such is known to you, but the way it is compiled and put, that could be little new to you. So, the 2 blessed period in the history, 1863, that is when Swamiji was born, to 1886, when Sri Ramakrishna passed away. From 1863 to 1886, these 23 years, Thakur, Mother and Swamiji, all the 3 were alive in his body, in their body. So these 23 years are blessed time where all the 3 of the Holy Trio were lived in this world, from the birth of Swamiji to Mahasamadhi of Sri Ramakrishna. Another history 1828 when Advaitanandaji was born, till 1939 when Swami Abhedanji passed away. So at least one of the disciples or one of them was present. So 111 years, somebody of them was in this world. So for us, it is quite interesting history. So these two are the blessed time, we can say. Swamiji, Narendranath Datta, date of birth and date of passing away, I have read just for reference only. Swamiji was the chief disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, who started Ramakrishna movement, was the first Indian yogi to go to the West, the first person who talked about harmony of religion on an international platform from anywhere in the world. Swami Brahmanandaji Rakhal Maharaj was first president of the order and also like a mind-born child of Sri Ramakrishna, or the spiritual son of Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Yoganandaji, who served Holy Mother, and also Sri Ramakrishna says his eyes are eyes of Arjuna. Swami Premanandaji, Baburam Maharaj, it is said that every bone marrow was pure. Some disciples used to say, whichever direction he looks at, that direction becomes purified. He was embodiment of that. And Sri Ramakrishna used to say, he is born with the fraction or the anksha of Sri Radha. So he had that natural inclination towards Krishna. Swami Niranjananandaji, one of the most guileless, simpleton disciples, all of them were there, but Swami Sri Ramakrishna says he is very simpleton. Swami Shivanandaji was the second president, was elder to Swamiji, and quite a few books are there which are reminiscences of him or the teachings of him, letters of him. His influence also is very strong on Ramakrishna Order from spiritual point of view. Swami Saradanandaji became the first General Secretary of the order, was very balanced, very calm type of person. When he first came to Sri Ramakrishna suddenly went and sat in his lap. And when asked, Sri Ramakrishna said, I was just seeing how much weight he can take. So he was the administrative weight of the order he has taken. He was the first General Secretary of the order. Swami Ramakrishnanandaji, Shashi Maharaj. Shashi Maharaj is the one whom Swamiji sent him in the south to preach Vedanta. Swami Vedanandaji is one who for a long time stayed in America for more than 27 years and preached Vedanta. Of his time, he was considered as one of the 10 top intellectuals of the world. The famous psychologist like, what is his name? James, I'm forgetting the name again. So he used to attend his classes. Many were there. Many intellectuals used to come. Even as you know, the Tesla himself used to attend the classes of Swamiji. Swami Adbhutanandaji, one of the most illiterate but very specially blessed spiritual soul, was a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. And he was the only who didn't hail from Bengal. He was from Bihar. Actually speaking, he was maid servant or the helper in the house of a devotee called Ramachandra Datta. So when Ramachandra Datta used to send him for offering something for payasam or something for Thakur, so Thakur saw him and asked to Ramachandra Datta, hey, where you got this boy? He is such a spiritual soul. And really, recently a book has been published, which is compilation of Latu Maharaj's teachings. Very interesting book, Words of Wisdom. Swami Turiyanandaji was one again who went to America to preach Vedanta, and Our Miss MacLeod used to say that nobody can be compared to Swamiji, but if at all we have to compare, it was Swami Turiyanandaji who can be compared with Swamiji. Swamiji used to say to Westerners, I have talked about Vedanta. Now you will find a person who practices Vedanta in his life. Everybody practices, but Turiyanandaji was very much embodiment of that. Swami Advaitanandaji, he was one who was elder to Sri Ramakrishna. He was almost 8 years elder to Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Trigunathanandaji, he is the only disciple who passed away outside India. He passed away in San Francisco. Swami Subodhanandaji, a childlike, was one of the very young disciple of Sri Ramakrishna by age. Akhandanandaji, who became the 3rd president of the order. Very, very inspiring life. The service activities of Ramakrishna Order started from him in a way. The first relief work he started in ashrama in Sargachi, looking after children and all that. Swami Vijnananandaji. Swami Vijnanandaji was an engineer by profession, and he was the last disciple who came to Sri Ramakrishna to meet. So, this is some details about all the disciples. So we have put the, according to, what you say, according to, just name wise I have put. Later on some slides are there. Who was first born, who passed away last, this and that. So that we shall see later on. Swami Brahmanandaji is considered the spiritual son of Sri Ramakrishna. He resembled Sri Ramakrishna from his back. He was the first president of the order. Swami Yoganandaji was the only one who passed away before Swamiji. He was the shortest lived disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He lived only 37 years and 11 months and 18 days. At that time, the life expectancy was not much. Most of the disciples, at least 50% of the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna passed away before the age of 50. So at that time, the expectancy was not very high. Swami Abhidanji passed away on 8th of September 1939. He was the last disciple to leave this world. He collected and compiled the sannyasa mantra for our order. Swami Trigunatha is the only one who passed away outside India, as I told. By the way, the pictures which you are seeing is painted by an artist in Gujarat. The original paintings you can see in Ramakrishna Ashram's temple in Rajkot. Swami Ramakrishnanji is the one who wrote the Brahmacharya mantras for our order. He continued the work of the order in South India after Swamiji. Very, very devoted to Thakur, so much so, Swamiji wanted to take the name Ramakrishnananda, but seeing devotion of Shashi Maharaj, Swamiji offered that name to him. Advaitanandaji was the only one who was elder to Sri Ramakrishna. Among all direct disciples, he lived longest. He lived more than 81 years. So, 1828 he was born and he passed away in, I think, 1908. Swami Akhandananda was the one who started first ever relief work on behalf of the order. Swami Saradananda was elected as first secretary of the order. Swamiji had selected him because of his qualities to be an able administrator. Swami Adbhutananda is the only one who was completely illiterate. He was also the only one who didn't hail from Bengal, as I told. Swami Vijnananda was the youngest and the last disciple to join the order. He was the most educated. Secular education, he was the most educated person because of his, he was the chief engineer of his time. The road which goes to Varanasi to Ghazipur was first made under his supervision. Okay. This is now onwards, the slides are little study, little research, and little depiction. Swami Abhedananda, Swami Vijnanananda, and Swami Akhandananda are the only three disciples who have witnessed and participated in the centenary of Sri Ramakrishna. So 1936, when Thakur's centenary was celebrated everywhere, many places, these three only were the disciples who were alive in 1936. The three disciples whose exact date of birth is not available: Latu Maharaj, Niranjananji, and Advaitananji. We still do not know exactly when they were born. These details most of you should know, but if you do not, Swami Brahmananda, Swami Advaitananda, Swami Yogananda, and Swami Shivananda, these four disciples were married once upon a time. Okay, Swami Brahmananda ji and Swami Shivananda ji, both wives died very, I think in a very young age. So even Brahmanji, Sri Ramakrishna used to say that now Rakhal understands what is the difference between the life of renunciation and life of a householder. So he was the only who, in a way, he and Advaitananji, but Mahapurush Maharaj, when Swamiji once told that Mahapurush Maharaj that he was married, Mahapurush Maharaj says, I have never even seen my wife from a close quarters. So Swamiji told, a married person to be so detached and pure, you are not an ordinary soul, you are Mahapurush, means you are a great man. That's why his name became Mahapurush Maharaj in our order. Swami Advaitananda ji came to Thakur after the wife's passing away. When wife passed away, they never had any children. But when wife passed away, he was, as usual, devastated. When came to Sri Ramakrishna and got the instructions from Sri Ramakrishna and became part of the monastery later on. Few things which as a devotee you should know, that because some disciples were married, so that tradition up to 1932-33, a few boys joined the order who were earlier married. But it was in 1936, Mahapurush Maharaj was president at that time. A new rule was introduced that married people will not be allowed to become monk in the Ramakrishna order. So that started from the early 1930s. Swami Yogananda ji, though passed away earlier, but his wife was alive at that time. His wife was a devotee and used to come to Holy Mother. So once she requested that so many people are serving Swami Yogananda ji, why can't I serve? Means cooking food and giving to him. Yogananda ji first did not agree that no, how it is possible. But mother told that you are a monk, you are detached, you have nothing, no connection with her. So just like any other devotee, allow her to cook for you sometimes if she wants. So that happened. It was Holy Mother's grace. So like this, these four disciples who served Holy Mother's day-to-day chores were helped by these disciples. Even Sarat Maharaj till the end and other disciples in between. Yogananda used to serve Holy Mother, and Holy Mother loved Swami Yogananda so much like a son that mother even used to say If yogin is okay, I am okay. If yogin is not well, take for granted that I am not well. Swami Yogananji, if anybody gave even 50 paisa to him, mother says, Yogan used to keep that money that when mother will require to go for pilgrimage or anywhere, she can use this money. All the disciples were dedicated to Holy Mother, but there is a particular, these four of them were able to serve Holy Mother and had a great faith. Niranjananji was the first person who started uh, telling among the devotees about the glory of Holy Mother and the greatness of Holy Mother. Girish Chandra Ghosh says, it is Niranjan who opened my eyes to recognize Holy Mother. One incident is there, very touching incident, which I do not know whether you have read or not. But if you have seen the Balaram Mandir or house of Balaram Basu, it is a two-story beautiful house. So at that time, Holy Mother used to stay, even disciples used to go and stay there. So that becomes, Sri Ramakrishna used to say that Balaram's house is my parlor in Calcutta. That is one house where Sri Ramakrishna has visited more than 100 times. So if you go to Calcutta anytime, as Sri Ramakrishna stayed in Dakshineshwar, as he stayed in Kashipur, he stayed in Shampupur for 75 days, but he has visited and stayed in Balaram's house many, many times. So that house is very, very significant for all of us. So this incident happens there. Swami Adbhutananda ji was in a mood of renunciation and vairagya. So in his Hindi Bengali mix language he used to speak, and he was speaking on that day like this: I am a sannyasi. I don't have any mother or father. I do not need any mother or father. I am a monk. He didn't recognize that Holy Mother was walking below in the house. Holy Mother could hear because Latu Maharaj was quite loudly was telling. So Holy Mother came near the steps and looked towards Latu Maharaj upstairs and told, you don't need to believe in me also, just out of fun maybe. Latu Maharaj became very emotional. How not to believe in Holy Mother? So Latu Maharaj started crying, sitting at the feet of Holy Mother. Latu Maharaj started crying, so Holy Mother also started crying. Beauty of the incident is what? Very interesting, that when mother was crying, mother was about to leave Balaram Mandir to go to Jairam Bhati. Now, in generally every tradition or every country, especially in Indian and for the Hindus, when the daughter-in-law of the house, when going to her own father's house, is a very happy occasion for her. So, Latu Maharaj says, Adbhutanji says to Holy Mother, does anybody cry while going to her own father's house? And like this, we keep a kind of chadar, a kind of cloth on our shoulders. Latu Maharaj took that cloth and wiped the tears of Holy Mother. This you do not find everywhere. It is a very rare incident that the Latu Maharaj is just like a child to Holy Mother. So this incident I felt like mentioning. Okay, passing away of the direct disciples. The 6 disciples, Swamiji, Shivanandaji, Saradanji, Advaitanji, Subodhanji, Rakhandanji, they passed away in Belur Math. Brahmanji and Premanji passed away in Balaram Mandir. Turiyanji, Adbhutanji passed away in Varanasi. Niranjananji in Haridwar, Vijnananji in Allahabad, Yogananji as Holy Mother's house in Bosparal in Calcutta, Ramakrishnanji in Udbodhan, Mother's house, and Swami Abhidanji at Kolkata, Swami Trigunathanji in San Francisco. So it is just a kind of a study, you see, to association with Sri Ramakrishna. This is something very interesting and very important for the devotees to understand. If you have a contact with the mission, contact with the Swamis, contact with the order or initiated in the order, never boast of your seniority. You know how many years you just came. You other day you came in contact. I'm connected with Ramakrishna Mission last 40 years, 50 years, this and that. No, it's not that how many years we are connected. Hmm? Holy Mother Sarada Devi, for example, 1860, Holy Mother stayed in Kamalpukur for a few days. What was her age? 7 years. 1867, Holy Mother stayed for about 7 months in Kamalpukur. At that time, would have seen Sri Ramakrishna. And she was what age? She was 14 years old. March 1872 to 16th August 1886, on and off, she stayed at Dakshineshwar. Total stay with Sri Ramakrishna cannot be more than 14 to 15 years. Who has understood Holy Mother, Sri Ramakrishna better than Holy Mother understood? Swamiji, for example. Swamiji's first visit to Sri Ramakrishna was in 1881 till Sri Ramakrishna Mahasamadhi in 1886. Total contact with Sri Ramakrishna of Swamiji is about 5 years and 1 month. A short period of time, connection with Sri Ramakrishna, but who understood better than them? So our contact with 25, 30, 40 years, for a figure's sake is okay, but it doesn't show our maturity. It doesn't say that just because we have contact longer time, so we are better or more spiritual, like nothing like that. So it is the intensity and it is the intimacy what you have with Sri Ramakrishna that is more important than the number of years. These 4 disciples were elected presidents of the order. Brahmanji was the first, Shivananji second, Akhandanji third, Vijnanji fourth president among the direct disciples. Sometimes we will take up the presidents of the order. I have another slide. So now 16th president is going on. So we can talk about them sometimes. These 5 disciples who preached Vedanta in the West, Vedanandaji, Turiyanandaji, Saradanandaji, Trivunaditanji, and Swamiji. Out of 16 disciples, these 5 disciples went to America and Europe to preach. Sri Ramakrishna considered these 5 monastic disciples as Ishwar Koti, or the one who came with the incarnations to assist in the divine play. One more disciple called Purnachandra Ghosh, also Sri Ramakrishna considered him as Ishwar Koti. So Brahmanandaji, Premanandaji, Niranjananji, Swamiji, and Yoganandaji. Swami Sri Ramakrishna says that they all belong to another level of spirituality. We don't understand that, but according to Sri Ramakrishna, yes. These 6 disciples were elder to Swamiji. Generally, Swamiji's impression is so big that we feel that everybody was younger to him. No. Advaitanandaji, Shivanandaji, Yoganandaji, Turiyanandaji, Niranjanandaji, and Premanandaji, these 6 disciples were elder to Swamiji. Incidentally, these 3 brother disciples were born in January 1863, same months, and that too in a gap of 9 days between them. Turiyanji was the eldest, 3rd of January 1863. After 9 days, Swamiji, on 12th of January, after 9 days, on 21st, Brahmanandaji. So January 1863 is a great month where the 3 giants were born in the same month. Very interesting. That's why I was telling the details are not that unknown to you, but when it is put in a context, it is very interesting. Okay, so here you see, according to the date of birth, Advaitanji was the eldest, then Shivanandaji, then Yoganandaji, then Premanandaji, and then likewise. Advaitanji we do not know exactly where to put because his date of birth is not known. But otherwise, this is the sequence by which they were by age. Now, according to the Mahasamadhi, who passed away first? Yoganandaji passed away first in 1899. Then Swamiji in 1902. Then Advaitanandaji in 1909. Okay, I think Niranjananji will go up in 1904. So, like this, the disciples passed away. The last disciple to leave this world is Swami Vedanta, as I told, in 1939. So the total lifespan, who was alive for the longer time? Yogananji was the shortest period, 37 years, 11 months, 18 days. Then Swamiji, then Niranjananandaji. Advaitanandaji at the end was 81 years plus. So these are some ideas. So a few things which we studied. So we told. I will share with another video so that you can enjoy. This whole thing was part of our retreat. So I will share this one. So this is our practice in Singapore. We do that. This mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya, we tell devotees to write. So everybody will write for 15-20 minutes. That becomes part of our many items in the retreat. This writing is a part. So this was the song we played on that day. That I don't know if we can. Let us see if we can. I don't think so. Otherwise we can play. So this is one song where you find the names of the disciples come there. Important householder disciples also come there. So this song we sing very frequently, especially every birthday of every disciple we do it. These are all the disciples in one frame. So this was some in general. We can talk about each disciple whole 1 hour. So today with all the disciples we talk a little about all of them. I was thinking, let us play these songs from. 1 second.
We are running out of time to convert the church into a masjid. Right now, your brothers and
Can you hear?
বিষয় পঞ্চক
So like that.
Maharaj, this was also the song which Swamiji sang when he first came to meet Sri Ramakrishna.
So any, before April, do you have any program?
Before April, there is no program. We have.
I can't hear.
No need.
Okay.
What is it?
Okay, I can hear.
But I was asking you that this is also the song which Swamiji sang
Yes.
as the young Narendranath first time meeting Thakur in his room.
Yes. Yeah, this is one of the songs. This is one of the songs which he sang.
I mean, for the benefit of all of us, if you just briefly summarize the Bengali song into
In the meaning
in English, yes.
Okay. One sec. Properly. Okay, I'm the running translation I'm reading. Let us go back once more, O my mind, to our own abode. Here in this foreign land, why should we wander aimlessly in stranger skies? These living beings around us and the five elements are strangers to you. All of them, none is your own. Why do you thus forget yourself in love with the strangers, O my mind? Why do you thus forget your own? Ascend the path of truth, O mind, and climb with love as a lamp to light your way. As your provision for the journey, bring with you the virtues carefully concealed. For, like two highwaymen, greed and delusion wait to rob you of your wealth and keep beside you constantly as guards to shelter you from harm, the calmness of mind and self-control. Companionship with holy men will be for you a welcome rest house by the road. There, rest your weary limbs a while, asking your way. If ever you should be in doubt of him who watches there, if anything along the path should frighten you, then loudly shout the name of the Lord, for he is ruler of that road, and even death must bow down to him. So this is a running translation of this.
Swamiji, can I have the first slide of your first presentation?
The disciples' pictures.
Yeah, right. All
together, eh?
All together, yes.
Okay.
I have taken a picture of it. I will post it on RVAT.
No, I can send.
I just need it.
Okay.
Oh,
16 disciples.
Let me share. Eh? One sec.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
তোমার হাতের বাঁশি হয়ে বাজাও দিবস রাতি ঠাকুর বাজাও দিবস রাতি আমার আমি শেষ হয়ে যা তোমারেতে সে মিশে যা আমার আমি শেষ হয়ে যা তোমারেতে সে মিশে যা তোমার পানে ফেরাও আমার তোমার পানে ফেরাও আমার দুষ্ট মনের গতি তোমার হাতের বাঁশি হয়ে বাজাও দিবস রাতি ঠাকুর বাজাও দিবস রাতি চিত্ত আমার নিত্য যেন তোমায় ধরে থাকে চিত্ত আমার নিত্য যেন তোমায় ধরে থাকে মন যেন আর দেয় না সাড়া ষড়রিপুর ডাকে ঠাকুর বাজাও হাতে দিবস রাতি যেন এ দেহ যায় তোমার সেবায় মন প্রাণ যেন তোমাকে চায় যেন এ দেহ যায় তোমার সেবায় মন প্রাণ যেন তোমাকে চায় অন্তিমে রাম কৃষ্ণ নামে অন্তিমে রাম কৃষ্ণ নামে থাকে যেন মতি তোমার হাতের বাঁশি হয়ে বাজাও দিবস রাতি ঠাকুর বাজাও দিবস রাতি আমার জীবন জুড়ে থাকো তুমি মরণে হও সাথী তোমার হাতের বাঁশি হয়ে বাজাও দিবস রাতি ঠাকুর বাজাও দিবস রাতি
I will give a small running translation so
Yes.
you can understand the significance of the song. This is a prayer to Sri Ramakrishna or prayer to God that be everywhere in my life and accompany me during my death. Make me a flute in your hand and play day and night. And to be instrument in the hand of God is a great virtue. Let my ego vanish. Let it get merged in yours. That is your identity or your existence. Turn the direction of my naughty mind towards you so that it remains with you. May my mind always be with you or remember you. Let my mind do not respond to, this is a technical thing, may my mind do not respond to the 6 enemies. Who are these enemy? The lust, greed, pride, etc. So that is one prayer, that may my mind always hold on to you and do not respond to the 6 enemies who ruin our life. Let this body be used for your service. Let my mind and heart always crave for you. And at the end of my life, may I remember your name and leave this world along with you. That is that. A running translation.
Fantastic.
This also is written by one Swami. Very interesting. Just 2 minutes more I take. That His name was Swami Pratyayananda. He passed away. I have not seen him, but I have heard some of his songs. Somewhere recording cassette was there, so I heard. At the end, when he was in our hospital center, just before passing away. So it was evening time. So generally, when the Swami's ward, where all the Swamis are there in a general ward, evening they play the audio or the video evening prayer song. So song was over, dinner was served 7:30. Then he was lying in his bed. Suddenly he got up in his bed and hold the handle like this and say, "Oh, mother has come to take me." And as if he is going to hold mother, but then the body fell on the bed. So it is something like he went with mother. This happens in many Swamis. Devotees, I don't hear much because we do not have that much intimate news after their passing away. But many Swamis I have seen. Other day I was talking. I can one day I will give you the whole about this, how we consider death as something very sad thing, and actually one who goes is in a better blissful region than the stupid world we are staying in. So I will explain. I will narrate some Swami's incident which has happened recently, not once upon a time, or during my lifetime. So I will talk about Swami Vireshwaranji. I will talk about Swami Manindra Maharaj, Swami Trilokeshananji. I will talk about Swami Mumukshananji. I will talk about Swami Dhyanatmanandaji. Like this few. They are neither the direct disciples, they are all monks. Vireshwaranji, of course, was Holy Mother's disciple. But even Indranandji, I will talk about how they have premonition about their going, how they are mentally, spiritually prepared and happy that the long tapasya comes to an end, to go and as if you are going to see Sri Ramakrishna or going to be in a, see, if your life is pure, nothing to worry about, Every great person has left this world. We also will live. People have fear of death. Death is something, as every day you go to sleep, are you afraid of going to sleep? No. But you lose everything when you go and see. When you go to sleep, think of your deep sleep, your identity, who you are, where you are, everything is forgotten. That's why it is in our technical term, in Vedanta, it is called Khanda Pralaya. Khanda Pralaya is, it's a everyday dissolution of the world. The whole world gets dissolved every day when you go to deep sleep. Nothing exists except you. So just like we go to sleep, we are not afraid, rather we are happy. In the same way, death is a long sleep till you wake up in other birth, if your desires are still remains. So it is something like a ducks, they enter in the water and come out in somewhere else. In the same way, we go to that relative water and come out in some country somewhere, some family. But this logic we have this kind of belief that according to your karma, you get the next life in such a place where the set of desires with which you are dying, spiritual desires, then you take birth in a spiritual family. So that from childhood you are in company of good people and your chances of doing spiritual practice is more. So these things are there in our so nothing to afraid about. Thus, the more unselfish we are, that much fearless we will be. Remembering God, taking the mantra, remembering mantra, meditation, reading, all these things are okay. If your life has to become spiritual, even if you are not religious, very interesting. You do not need to be a religious person to become a spiritual person. If you are unselfish, if selflessly, if you can serve people, help people and live a life, you are a spiritual person. Purity of mind, purity of intentions, not cheating, and not betraying. All the negatives are out. Only holding on to the positive values. Life becomes much easier. Life becomes much easier. No artificial life. Spontaneously living a good life, pure life. That's all.